When I started composing the music for Pixel Piracy, I knew we had to have some songs with the lyrics in them, for two reasons mainly. The first being that after playing the game and hearing the chipmunky, pitch-shifted vocals, I thought it'd be fun to have some songs where we were singing that high. The second reason is that this is Pixel Piracy. What pirate game is complete if it doesn't have some sea shanties and tavern tunes to sing along with? Since this video is going to cover a lot of tavern tunes and sea shanties, I'm going to go over some general compositional things they all have in common rather than go into detail on each one individually. First, beyond including the vocals and lyrics in these tunes, I decided to strip away a lot of the instrumentation. So things like the string section, brass, big huge taiko drums, stuff like that, that's not going to be in these tavern tunes and sea shanties. Instead, I opted for something a little bit more intimate, something akin to Irish folk music, jigs and reels, so solo fiddle, some guitars, various woodwinds, things like that. Many composers are often asked, which came first for you, the lyrics or the music? And for these songs, actually neither. For me, I started off by writing a whole ton of fun and ludicrous song titles that were very pirate-like. Then I went back, and after I had about 20 or so of them, I picked a handful of my favorites. From those favorites, I wrote lyrics to them and developed a basic melody and rhythmic phrasing for how I want to say each line. After that, I sat down with my guitar and dadgad tuning, which is appropriate for the Irish folk music I was writing, and just played around with the tune, tried some different things, improvised here and there, just basically got a feel for the song structure. So I knew how it started, what was in the middle, if we're going A-B-A-B, if we have traditional pre-chorus, verse, chorus, that kind of feel, or if it was something entirely different. I only ever received one revision request in regards to these tunes specifically. And that was in regards to the sea shanties. I actually thought, originally, that it'd be really cool if they were all a cappella, a whole bunch of your mates singing on the ship just by themselves, no instruments, nothing else, maybe stomping and clapping a little bit. So I sent over my first demo, which was Salty Dogs, and everybody enjoyed it, but we all felt like it was lacking a little bit of momentum, so it needed some accompaniment. That's when we decided to add in instruments. So it still stays very sparse and intimate with violins, maybe accordion here or there, but it actually helped a whole bunch. Recording these tunes was a lot of fun, but actually very time-consuming. The first step was for me to sit down with my guitar and a single mic and just make a scratch track. So just a demo of something that I'm actually playing in a much slower tempo than the final product, because I know I'm gonna pitch shift it up, and thus the rhythm and everything else it'll accelerate. So I did that first. I just sat down with my guitar and dadgad tuning, played the changes, sang along. Once I had that figured out and the general structure of the tune, I would go into Pro Tools, listen to every possible alteration, all the way up to like maybe a tritone. I don't think I went above that. I actually sang much lower than I normally would. Down, I think I can do the lowest as an E or so, just because it sounds more pirate-like, and when you're pitching it up, it's nice to have that quality still intact. So I did that, found something I liked. Each tune was different. Pitch shifted up a third here, maybe a fourth there, maybe only a couple steps. Changed on each tune, depending. Then, after I did that, I would go back, once I found a key that I enjoyed. I would sing as heartily as I possibly could in my normal register, down very low at that slower tempo, and then that would be like the final take of the vocal, at which point I would take that track and pitch it up to whatever key I liked. Then I would make a new tempo map that marked exactly the new sections, what tempo we were at, things like that. Now after I had the tempo and the key changed, I would change the capo on my guitar, or perhaps just the voicings, and play all of the changes to the tune in that new key. After that, I would add everything else in. So harmonies, maybe I would do some various, I would hire Wayne to play winds, other things, percussion, whatever the tune needs. There are various vocal and instrumental tunes that make up the group that is randomly selected whenever you sail in Pixel Piracy. These are sea shanties. So depending upon how many people are in your group, whether you're just solo captain, you may not hear certain sea shanties. However, if you're with a very large merry band of pirates, then you'll hear something like Salty Dogs with everybody singing along and the instruments. Now, like the sea shanties, the tavern tunes have a group of instrumental and vocal tunes that are randomly selected. However, it's not dependent upon character variables, so it doesn't matter if you're going in alone as your captain or you have a whole bunch of people in your group. The only thing that does matter is if the island you're on has a tavern and if your captain is in the tavern. That's the only time the tavern tunes will trigger. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned a little bit more about Pixel Piracy's sea shanties and tavern tunes. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, do all of those fun things. And if you really like this video, then you can support the series on Patreon. Thanks.